Okay, off-season episode. Just finished recording, and unfortunately, we had a lot of ups and downs this year. We got on a big roll in the middle of the season, won 4 in a row, and then dropped our final 5 games to finish 4-8 and 3-5 in the conference. Not what we were looking for. Of course, you're pretty much guaranteed a loss when you throw Florida on the schedule. They end up being quite a good team, even though they were unranked when we played them. If you look at the college football playoff bracket right now, you can see that Miami had a great year, and that's maybe why they've recruited so well. Clemson is not there, though, and they've recruited really well. They're stealing all of our recruits right now. Rutgers made it in, 9-3. It's a perspective bracket, and we'll see if the Gators can make a run, although obviously as our biggest rival, I'd prefer something else. If you look at our season stats, of course, we started out with a 2 QB system, but really ended up with just the one, Neil McKee. He had a really nice year. Really nice year. Ended up being the same overall. As players develop over the year, they, obviously increase in overall. Brian Pierce was just outplayed. No way around it. Even look at yards per attempt, okay? 2.5 yards, really more. Rayshon Battles ended up outperforming James Abel, but he might be leaving us, unfortunately, which would be a major loss. Hopefully we can tell him to stay. Receiving, Devin Bibbs goes over 1,000 yards on the season, 7 touchdowns. Thought he scored even more than that. 9 touchdowns for Kai Kiernan. He had a lot on those kind of jet touch passes. How did Devin Bibbs only have 7? Feels like he had way more, but maybe all the yards and the catches kind of tells me that. 5 touchdowns for Rayshon Battles. He had an incredible year as receiver. I was impressed by Matt Sims. He worked his way all the way up to a 51. Unbelievable. Blocking, this offensive line, we really protected them at times, but they were upsetting, to say the least. And then defensively, 85 tackles for Corey Cushing, 80 for Jerez Hoke in the secondary. If you look at TFLs, Corey Cushing had 17. 15 for Joey Maffei, who we're going to lose. Zeke Hopper with 14. And then nobody else in double digits, but 7 for a safety is great. You look at sacks, we got no pressure. Really none at all. And that's got to change if we're going to be more successful in 2025. 4 picks for Darrell Brower ended up leading the team. He's terrible, but he had 4 picks. I don't know what it is. Malik Lanier, I thought, played really well, but we're losing him. Corey Cushing, 2 picks. 2 picks for Ahmad Bourne. He's only a sophomore, so room to grow there, you would hope. And then we'll have Lamont James for another year as well. But all in all, we showed signs of life, but we're simply not good enough. We finish bottom of the conference, which I guess is to be expected year 1. But we got some big wins. We didn't even play New Mexico State this year, but we played everybody else, right? So kind of bizarre that we played literally everybody else, but not New Mexico State. Looks like that might have been a nice win. We are obviously not bowl eligible. And Will Howard at Ohio State is expected to win the Heisman. Okay. Jalen Milroe fighting for it. Jackson Arnold, Graham Mertz, and Chandler Morris from North Texas all in the mix. That's an interesting group. But we're going to try and do a little bit of recruiting here before we start. Darrell Ali is headed to Clemson week 16, which I fear means he is headed to Clemson. Do I take my points off of him? I probably should, but I'm going to fight it out. Keenan Capps is likely headed to Clemson, and I think Kevin Rush is going to be headed to Arizona. It's going to be a tough recruiting class for a lot of these close recruitments at this point, but we're in a good position on a number of other players, which is where we should really pivot our focus to, but we're in a tough spot. Gerald Word, we're just going to take off our board there. He's going to go to UNC. And the problem is we don't have the points to scout these guys, in my opinion. So it really puts us in a tough spot. And I don't want to waste points on scouting when we need to try and land some of these players. But we can find out a little bit. 85 speed is actually not terrible for a safety. We'll offer it. Well, we've already offered, but we'll put points there to try and win that recruitment. This board's going to change a lot. We're going to add more players in the offseason. But we got to try and get some of these recruits to commit. And we got to get back in the fight on some of them as well, which is not going to be easy. And on a lot of these guys, we are just hoping they're good and offering and trying to get in their recruitment. That's really all we can do. I'd like to be able to scout. I just don't think it's worth the points. We're going to lose out on Kevin Rush more than likely, but I'm going to try to stay in it. Maybe we can win it, but it's just really not looking good. And because we can't get him on campus, there's not really much we can do about it. So we'll see what happens, right? I mean, some of these, it's sunk cost fallacy where I need to give up. As we just added Max Dole to the board, and he's pretty much going to Kansas State. So we'll take him right back off the board. And then, you know, I think if we pushed on some of these, we could get back in it. But I don't know. We'll have to save that for the actual offseason. It's conference championship week. The fact that a lot of these guys didn't commit already, we would have seen in that week, makes me feel okay. Like the running back, for example, Rush. But it doesn't mean necessarily a whole lot. So we'll see what happens when we get to that point. Of course, we will check out the college football playoff, but we are more concerned with our team as Emmanuel Tape has committed to our school. 3-star right tackle from Carmel, Indiana, although we have lost out on some other players. Darrell Ali is headed to Clemson. It's an unfortunate reality. We knew that was likely going to happen, and we were on him for a while, and we can't even see how close he was. And Kevin Rush also is headed to Arizona. Another big fear, the Week 16 visits. I mean, we just could not really compete with those. And we've, without scouting these guys, have offered on Tavon Howard and Taj Westbrook. I'm hoping they're good. Added some of these guys to my board, Antoine Leglue, Max Dole, and Rashard Lehan. But they got offers from bigger schools. We didn't really have a chance. Jackson Arnold is your 2024 Heisman winner from Oklahoma. 37 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, 3,500 yards passing as well. Is a phenomenal year. Early National Signing Day is not going to be that exciting for us. We have just 5 players in the class. We end up being very, very, very close on Kevin Rush, but the Week 16 visit to Arizona lost it for us. If we would have won that game in Week 12, I think he commits to us. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. But we do add another offensive player, an offensive lineman. Emmanuel Tape is a top 500 player, number 7 in the state of Indiana. And if you look at him as a prospect, he looks very good, like unbelievably good. 82 pass block power and finesse, 75 pass block. Not really going to be much of a run blocker probably, but we need more time. So Tape is a good recruit to get. It's been all offense here. Really has been. And we're going after defensive players as UAB's taken a commanding lead on Vernon Land, who we decided we did probably want to pursue. I worry about what his coverage is going to be. We have no hours to find out right now. But in terms of these other recruitments, Ohio State trying to make a push on Dalton Sills. Don't want that to happen. Florida trying to get in the race on Emmanuel Sosa, who we never really pushed for at all. Still a long way to go in that recruitment. And we're looking good in some other spots. Tim Laval, Penn State has made quite a push for. Oh my goodness, look at the bar on that. That's incredible. DJ Grimes, I would love to get. Jawan Stevens, we're in a great spot for. Same thing with Jake Keenan. And we got to take some of these new guys off the board. Baraka Sun, I think that's quite a name. We're in a good spot there. Dom Horn's going to end up being a battle. Memphis and Marshall pursuing him as well. But we need to improve at linebacker. And then we're trying to get in the race on some of these guys down the board. Emmett Lemon seems like he wants to join the squad. And I like that. 96 speed is unbelievable. Or believable, but quite good. Tavon Howard, we're in a good spot there, but I don't even know if he's good. But we need guys in the class. He's probably better than what we have. And that's just kind of where we are in that. This class is going to have to come together. It really is. Right now, our coordinators are really awful. And a Nebraska pipeline is not helpful to me. It just isn't. Rayshon Battles, by the way, first team All-American. That's pretty incredible. He was a great receiving back, 407 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. He had a great season and is very obviously our only All-American. But that's surprising that he got in there. We're still in the lead on Tim Laval, who's made his top 5. But I don't know how long that's going to last with Penn State pursuing. We're going to do recruiting actions, give a bonus to offensive linemen. We only have 5 points remaining. So where do we want to spend that? I'd almost rather hold on to them for now. And I'd love to fire my coordinators. That would be phenomenal. But I don't think that's going to be an option. At least not at that moment. It might be Bowl Week 3 we might be able to get something going. Ooh, what an interesting college football playoff tournament so far. Oregon has advanced over Ohio State, who beat Georgia. Miami has been knocked out by NC State, who beat UNC in the Battle of North Carolina. Forget the name of that rivalry. Ole Miss beat Rutgers and then went on to beat Bama. And then Temple got crushed by OU, who lost to Kansas State, Big 12 revenge, who now will play Ole Miss in the Cotton Bowl for a shot at the national championship. NC State, Oregon is quite the matchup as well on the other side. So our offensive coordinator actually is gone. Our DC is still here. I wish he wasn't. We need to hire a new offensive coordinator. Declan Peden. That's fun. And I am actually worried about the pipeline here as well. I want a higher level coach, but it was a pipeline I'm interested in. And that, it's not really a good fit right now. I think because Jack Beckham is level 20 and has no offers, we're going to make an offer to him. And then Alex Gary, I got to be able to fire you. Please. It is possible I missed my window. Although I've pulled it up when it's been an option, and I've seen fire coach before. I don't see it now. But we will advance and hopefully get a new offensive coordinator. Mitch Fox has now put us in his top 8. Middle linebacker. Losing Rayshon Battles would be very tough. That's something I'm still extremely worried about. But we did hire Jack Beckham. He's an elite recruiter. So that's going to be really, really helpful to us. And look at this. On both sides of the ball? No, he's got the advanced recruiting, excuse me. Some of them are for linebackers. Linebackers gained additional interest for every 10 hours spent. Ooh, this is an incredible recruiter. QBs gain additional interest for every 10 hours spent. Running backs, he's got my school grades have a larger impact on wide receivers and tight ends. Oh, lineman additional interest, plus what we already had up here. It's going to stack. What an addition to our team. Alex Gary, I wish I could ditch you so badly, but Jack Beckham is an incredible hire. Manny Cabrera is very close to committing. Pro potential going down. That is not good for Rayshon Battles. We're not going to produce a draftable player this year, so I don't really know what to do about that. Really not a clue. Ole Miss, by the way. What a run for Ole Miss. They beat Kansas State in the Cotton Bowl. Oregon takes down NC State in the Orange Bowl, and then Ole Miss blows out Oregon to be your 2024 national champions. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think the bracket's going to look exactly like this, but Ole Miss is one of those teams I could see making a run. They're bringing Jackson Dart back. They did really well in the portal. Oregon is obviously a menace right now. It would be an interesting national championship. Obviously, as a Texas fan, I want to see Texas in there. But if you told me this was the national championship, I go, that's interesting, but yeah, I could see it. Juice Wells was another guy they brought in. Boston College going after Clay Ivy, another receiver we have not scouted. And I'm really worried we're going to lose Rayshon Battles, which is unfortunate. But we're about to find out, is Rayshon Battles transferring? Yes. As is starting right guard Carl Surensee. We, of course, are going to try and persuade him, and Rayshon Battles is leaving. We will need a running back badly. We're going to try on Carl Surensee, and he's decided to stay. It's a starting junior guard. I mean, that's a big get back. Devin Bibbs is graduating. Otis Honeycutt was a starter who got injured, but that is our starting center. Duke Joslin played. A lot of these guys played, obviously. Joey Maffei, kicker Kalen Costanzo. Connor Godwin was mainly a special teamer. Malik Lanier was a very good corner for us, in my opinion, even though none of them were. And then game 1 starting quarterback Brian Pierce, also graduating. He'll be like a banker or something, I don't know. And Rayshon Battles leaving is, tremendously tough. It really, really is. But there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, the draft results, we didn't have anyone drafted. I don't even have to check. Literally no chance. I am curious where Rayshon Battles is going to land. I don't know that we ever get to find out. But we now have 525 hours. The transfer portal is officially open. And we will have a chance to pursue some of these guys. Not all of them. Some of them already have their top 5 locked. Caleb Downs, I feel like transfers a lot. Emory Jones would be a big get, but of course, Isaiah Bond transferring from Texas. Alec Ayamanor had a killer game for Stanford against Colorado. CJ Baxter's transferring. Dude, I'm my heart's being broken by these Texas guys leaving. And it's not even a Texas Dynasty. But we're going to go ahead and try to add, these guys to our board. In order to do that, we need to actually make some space on a recruiting board. And also finish out, trying to recruit some of these high school guys. Because that's going to be the backbone of our program, for sure. I like where we are in a lot of these recruitments, though. I will say that. A lot of these guys are going to be close to committing. We just have to decide which ones we actually want. Brian Wilcox, I'm not going to pursue very hard. Same thing with the kicker. I've offered scholarships. That's about all I can do. Do I really want to go in a slugfest against UAB for a 2-star safety? I probably don't. I do need to find out if some of these guys can play, though. Keenan Capps, we're going to take off our board. We're not getting him. Can Alani Allen actually play? 90 speed. He is a gem. Okay. There's some similarities to Devin Bibbs. We're going to go after him. Him being a gem, I think, is actually a pretty big difference maker. At tight end, do we want Emmanuel Sosa? That's the big one. The Gators are pursuing, but how heavily, I don't know. I'm going to leave him on the board for now, but that's it. I don't know what else. Ohio State wants Dalton Sills. This is probably someone we should get in on a visit and just sell playing time. You're not going to play at Ohio State. You could play here. And we're also... How good is he? I mean, he looks like he's going to be quite good. So we're also going to probably hard sell him on playing time. We'll do that. Do we want to push for Tim Laval? He looks good. He really does. And he's a New Jersey kid. So I'm naturally biased. Let's hard sell. We don't have anything that matches. I'm going to put 5 on him. I'll see what Penn State does. But he might be headed to Penn State. 83 speed for a power rusher. I think I've seen enough. Rich Tobias is at least going to get an offer. And we're going to put some points on him. Taj Westbrook, 81 speed. That's right as well. I think we're in a good spot on that. No one's offered him. And then Jake Keenan is probably the worst of the bunch. But looks still good. Joaquin Cloud, can you run? I'm wasting so many points trying to figure it out. I hate it. I'll offer a scholarship. It's only 5, but I don't know if we'll get him. I really got to know if these corners can play, though. 84 speed. I'm just not looking for that. I need at least 87, probably. And I prefer 90 plus, and it's all like 87. None of these guys can really run, unfortunately. But Earl Cribbs at, 84 speed? 92 change of direction. And it's just not going to be good enough. How much do we want to go after Tavon Howard? Speed could be elite. He is a gem. 91 speed, 70 zone coverage. We're going to put 25 down on him. Gem is big. Could be a starter year 1. What about George Ojemudia? Bust. Yeah, he doesn't look terrible. But he's got 80 speed. That is terrible. And then what do we need in the portal? I mean, we got to see if some of these guys can play. If they're first on our board, they want to join our team, we should probably just offer them. We need corners. We need DBs. We could use a receiver. I got to narrow this board down a little bit. And I really, really, really badly need running back. We'll probably take Joaquin Cloud off our board. There are linebackers we know a bit more about that I like a little bit more. Kyle Thorne, be fast, please. Another bust. It's going to be these corners we got to take off the board. We're going to get a corner in the portal. This is a freshman transfer, Travion Wright. 89 speed. I just need a little bit more than that, but we need corners so badly. All right, we've offered on some of these guys. I'm not exactly killing it. We have, limited hours to work with. And a lot of these guys will become options for us soon. But, a lot of these players in the portal, I know they have interest. We just can't go after them right now. We need to wait a week. We need more points back. We did scouting. We're going to get some of them back, of course. But this will be a really telling week for where the offseason actually goes. So, Earl Goodwill, we took off our board, so I'm okay with that. Not really mad about that at all. And then, first on Dalton Sills. I think the offer was rescinded, so we're going to get him. Dom Horn, the linebacker, we're looking good. Might lose out on Taj Westbrook if we don't really push. That's going to have to be get him in on a visit type of deal. And we're really going to have to push for some of these transfer players if we want a chance. Just couldn't really put any points on the backs, unfortunately. But we're in the lead on Lee Beebe, and all I did was offer him a scholarship, which it seems like Clemson wasn't willing to do. So Dijon Stanley, we might just have to be out on. Terrell has 95 acceleration, only 69 carrying. Not so nice. We're just kind of going to have to hope these guys are good. 75 short route running. I mean, these are receiving backs. They're not bell cows, but that's what we had last year. The offense worked. Florida not really pushing for the tight end. We'll put some points on them. Dalton Sills will be committing. We can take off the 40. Just put 5 on him. I mean, Ohio State is out of the recruitment now. They've given up. And Ariza, whoever was going after him, might have been Georgia. They're out as well. Penn State has now rescinded their offer on Tim LaValle. They might have reached their limit on recruits. So we can take full advantage of that. We need to get in there on Rich Tobias. Has to happen. Taj Westbrook has 81 speed. That's pretty good. We need him in on a visit now. But we don't know what he likes. And I don't want to risk him going to Louisville. But we can sell him on playing time. He almost certainly wants playing time. So we're going to hard sell him on playing time. That gets us 3. I'm going to bring him in on a visit anyway and just sell playing time. Hope that's the one. And we're bringing in no defensive tackles right now. That's definitely a problem. But you can't get everything in this class. You can't. So, don't really know what our options are. I think we do end up with a good class, but just wonder how good is it going to be. It's going to be a very interesting question to answer. We finally added some defensive tackles. Aaron Bryant, sophomore transfer, junior transfer Devin Eastern, and freshman transfer Jaden Gaines, who should be the worst of the bunch. But hopefully these guys are somewhat good. 88 tackles, crazy. That is an offer. 82 block shedding is phenomenal. 85 tackle, that's another offer. Run stopper with 65 block shedding, not as intriguing to me. I will offer, but that is all I will do. We're going to get Tavon Howard in on a visit this week. Or not. I just need to up the points on some of these guys. And we really just can't do much else right now with these points until I get some commits. We need some players to commit. Needs to happen. That's a strong safety, I would say. All right, we added 2 DBs down at the bottom of our board. And they already have interest. Omar Daniels might be tough to get, but we need help in the secondary. I mean, I keep preaching that. Not much has really changed on that front. We need some of these guys to commit. We need to open up spots. This is week 2 of the offseason. We have 2 more to go. So we need to start getting some commits now. Damian Bryant looks like he's headed to Tulsa. Didn't really get an opportunity to push very hard on that one. But we are not getting the commits that I've needed to see, unfortunately. We're inching along. We could end up getting all of these guys to join our class. Florida has finally made a move on Sosa. We can take him off the board. Sills is very close. That'll be a commit. Manny Cabrera, we know, is going to commit. Tim LaValle, we're in a good spot there. DJ Grimes in an excellent spot. Juwan Stevens, excellent spot. Jake Keenan, excellent. Baraka Sun should be able to land for sure. Losing ground on Dom Horn. That's unfortunate. Because he could have electric speed. He could. Do we know what you're interested in? Yeah, we actually align here pretty well. We can sell pro potential, whatever. Playing style, proximity to home. That should be pretty big. It's 4. And we're maxed out. Can't get him on a visit, unfortunately. Somehow as a week 5 visit to 2 schools. Number 1 spot on Lonnie Allen. Boston College coming for Clay Ivy. Let's get him on a visit week 3 here. I just don't know what we can sell. They were so bad in things that he cares about. Championship contenders probably the other thing that he likes. Yeah, so we're not a good fit. But we can put more points into it. But probably good to just get him in on a visit anyway. We'll sell the best thing we can, which is pro potential, which is still terrible. But we'll get the points for the visit. Kansas making a push. It's a good thing we put more points on Tavon Howard. Need him in on a visit as well. And again, what can we sell with him? It's very tough. We'd have to sell pro potential, which you're not going to go pro if you come here probably. But please, though, big lead on Taj Westbrook. It's big to just take the lead, barely, after a week 2 visit. We can win out on that one. It's going to be very tight, though. Maybe not get him. We'll see. I mean, if this class comes together, it's going to be barely at the last second. That's probably how that's going to go. All right, we've added some more players down at the bottom of our board. More transfers, some of them young. Freshman transfer, Kelly Jones is 6'4". Zone corner. Could be maybe a safety. Another zone corner, DK Magruder. Love that name. 6'2", 175. Another linebacker. That's a maybe. And then Durante Basher is a 6'3", 220-pound route-running receiver with interest. Maybe a tight end? I don't know. We need some commits. We got to open up spots. We need to. Taj Westbrook's going to go to Louisville. Oh, that's so frustrating. Omar Daniels is going to be a Gamecock. In good positions on some other players. And then not so much on some other guys. This is week 4. This is it. Yeah, we're just going to lose out on Taj Westbrook. That sucks, but he's going to Louisville. Okay, we got a corner with 90 speed in Caleb Patterson. And these guys don't really have offers, so I think just offering some of these guys will help us get them. Or just flat out, will get us these players. It's not good enough. Here's a high school safety with 88 speed, gem, just a 78 zone coverage. What a find. Ranked 1543 in the class, the number 47 safety. Just floating out there with no offers. That would be a very nice end to our... Now I kind of want to just take off the freshman and see if we can find some really underappreciated 90 speed, 81 zone coverage at corner. That's a great freshman transfer. I only have 10 hours left, so I can't even really scout. But any high schooler at a position of need, I guess. How about the speed rush defensive tackle, Charlie Sun from Brooklyn? We can add the Sun brothers to the board. They look nothing alike. Charlie Sun, and here is Baraka Sun. Get Mortal Kombat Baraka. And then Charlie. All right, that's pretty much all we can do. Our class is either going to come together at the final hour, or it's going to be devastating. Here we go. How good is this class about to be? We got the 3-star right tackle, Dalton Sills from Monaca, Pennsylvania. Big right tackle to add. We got the receiver, Clay Ivy from Santa Ana, California. We got Tavon Howard, the 3-star safety from Birmingham, Alabama. He was huge. We got the 2-star route runner receiver with great size, Durante Basher from Wisconsin. Manitowoc? Not sure. And Ricky Lee is headed to Indiana. Damn, that's someone I thought we were going to get. Guess we, in the end, didn't push hard enough on him. DK Magruder to ULM. And Kelly Jones to Mizzou. 6'4" at corner would have been a nice get, and we did not do well at corner in the portal. Magruder and Kelly Jones. At least Kelly Jones was supposed to join the class. That did not end up happening. But you're going to see our class did come together for sure because time has expired, which means everyone that we let on is in the class. We got Brian Wilcox. We needed a punter. Didn't really ever even look at him, but we needed a punter. And we can see dev traits here as well. So we'll take a look at that. We got the one-star kicker, Caleb Brink. We know about Dalton Sills. We got Ben Ariza. We got Manny Cabrera, the left guard. Tim Laval from Mount Holly has committed. DJ Grimes, the linebacker from Alabama, has committed. Juwan Stevens enters the class. We also got Jake Keenan, Baraka Sun, Dom Horn. Alani Allen is huge. Clay Ivy we got. We also got receiver Emmett Lemons. We end up with a lot of receivers in this class. Tavon Howard. We got another athlete, linebacker Philip Coleman. 3-star linebacker Mitch Fox. We got Rich Tobias, the 3-star power rusher. Jordan Johnson, the safety, has joined the class. Junior transfer. We also added a running back, Lee Beebe Jr., receiving back from Montgomery, Alabama, sophomore transfer. Aaron Bryant at defensive tackle we needed to get. He joins the class. Unfortunately, no Ricky Lee. We did get the defensive tackle Aaron Bryant, but yes, Durante Basher we know about. Chris Rogers, we never really pushed for at all. Magruder to ULM, we finished 3rd. Mizzou just totally went all out on Kelly Jones. Didn't get him. And then Caleb Patterson, we made a late push for, but unfortunately did not get. And Tyler Luck, we just, I guess, didn't put enough points into, so he's going to remain unsigned. Not exactly sure what happens there, but I really wish we found him earlier, because that would be a really nice player to add to our class. And unfortunately, can we still? We can still target guys. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's a recruiting period after National Signing Day, but that feels bizarre to me. But we've added more to our board. Now to check out dev traits here. Henry Streeter, we are expecting normal. It is normal. You can see just above my head in the bottom right. Impact for Moses Butts, which is just above normal. It goes normal, impact, star, elite. At running back, Lee Beebe Jr. has normal. Added Jabari Minor to our board just now, but I don't know if we can even recruit these guys. At receiver, Zach Poole has elite. That is the highest you can get. That is incredible. Alani Allen has impact. See, Zach Poole is not even... I guess we didn't scout him all the way. That's why that maybe a gem would have shown. Only impact for Alani Allen. Clay Ivy has normal. Impact for Emmett Lemons. And impact for Durante Basher. At tight end, Tyler Branham has star. That's a nice one. Kerry Exum has star. Emmanuel Tape only has normal. Star for Dalton Sills. And normal for Ben Ariza. At guard, we have normal for Tim Laval and impact for Manny Cabrera. Just added a center to our board, but otherwise we'll not have one in the class. Jake Keenan has impact, as does Rich Tobias. Defensive tackle, right now we just have the sophomore transfer Aaron Bryant. He has impact. Added these other guys to our board. No idea if we'll be able to get them, obviously. No outside linebackers, but we got 4 inside linebackers. DJ Grimes, unfortunately, only has normal. Impact for Dom Horn. Normal for Philip Coleman, and impact for Mitch Fox. But there's more to the player than just their depth trait. Only 2 corners. Baraka Sun is impact. Show me elite. Impact for Juwan Stevens, who had the gem, but looks very good. At free safety, only impact for Tavon Howard. Normal for Jordan Johnson, the transfer. And we don't know if we're ever going to get Tyler Luck. Caleb Brink, the kicker, has impact. And Brian Wilcox, the punter, has impact. As far as the athletes go, we can see overalls in here. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. Well, I guess we can't because I don't think I saw Streeter in there. We'll start with Mitch Fox. He's a 64 overall, but would jump up to a 68 at outside linebacker. Also a 68 overall safety. I hate how this resets every time. He's got 88 speed. He's 5'11", 221. What are your coverage skills? Obviously a defensive player. 78 tackles, 70 block shot, 70 hit power, 68 finesse move, 71 power move, 74 pursuit, 77 zone coverage. That's a linebacker to me. We'll throw him at right outside linebacker. Henry Streeter, we expect to be our franchise quarterback. 94 speed, 95 acceleration, 85 agility. And he can also play defense. But he's going to be a quarterback for us. No question. Alani Allen is an athlete. Now, we recruited him as a receiver, but he can also play defense. Okay, and he's actually a higher overall on the defensive side of the ball. So let's give that a check out. So Alani Allen, if he played receiver, 90 speed, 91 acceleration, 85 agility, 89 change of direction, 74 break tackle, stiff arm, spin move, juke move, all around 70. Can catch fairly well, is not the best route runner, but is okay. Especially short, not much beyond that. What about defensively? 65 tackle, 64 play rec, 65 hit power, 74 man, 73 zone, and at 6'3" with decent speed, I think Alani Allen's going to play corner. And we kind of ended up with a lot of receivers anyway, so that just makes the most sense. Dom Horn, we think is a linebacker, but he's a speed rusher, really. He's 5'11", 238. I mean, that can only work in college at that size. Really no pro potential with that size off the edge. However, if he can make it work at this level, I'd be fine with it. I think zone coverage is too good. Tackling's too good. And what is his speed again? I think he's just going to play outside linebacker. 85 speed, 91 acceleration. He's just going to play outside linebacker for us. We'll throw him at right outside. Philip Coleman, another linebacker who could also move back to safety. Okay. So, potential need at safety. He's got 89 speed. That'll play at safety, I would say. That'll play at safety. What are your coverage abilities, though? So 76 hit power, I like. 66 block shed's quite good. 72 zone. Could be good enough to start at safety, to be honest. And I think we have decent depth at linebacker now. And we're going to move some things around as well. But, yeah, I would say that he probably moves to strong safety. Don't know if he's going to play very much as a freshman, but he's going to play strong safety for us. Jumps up to a 70. And then the last athlete is DJ Grimes, who we expect to be a linebacker, but he has 88 agility. Carrying and ball carrier vision are really bad. He's either a safety or a linebacker. Okay, so let's see then. 89 speed again. That's good enough to play safety, in my opinion. 6'1", 222. 71 hit power, 82 tackles, 74 block shed's really high, 72 power moves. He's going to play in the box. This is a linebacker. And I might just throw him at middle linebacker now because we look a little light there. So Henry Streeter is a 74 overall. He'll be our starting quarterback more than likely. Moses Butts is a 68. He'll be a fine backup. A lot of these guys at the bottom of the roster probably won't even make it if we need to make cuts. Lee Beebe Jr. is an 80. And we should have him for 2 years. So, he's only got 87 speed. We had a little bit more from battles. But should start. Zach Poole's a 68. But again, we don't have much of a choice. He'll likely start. And we might end up getting one of these receivers out there as a freshman. Because a lot of these guys are very close. Emmett Lemon, 66. 66 for Durante Basher. 65 for Clay Ivy. Alex Higdon, of course, was here and bad. At tight end, Tyler Branham, of course, is going to start. And he should be electric. Matt Sims, we'll see if he gets a boost, but it's still only a 51 overall. Okay, may have cut out a lot of that, but we went over overalls. This is where everyone's going to play. Henry Streeter at quarterback. Lee Beebe Jr. is going to be our starting running back. We moved a lot of our athletes around. Receiver, we're going to end up losing a lot of this roster. And the offensive line is looking especially not good. A lot of these guys will need a year of development. But we might be forced to start a freshman at right tackle. We likely will. So we need some big upgrades in offseason training. But I would expect that some freshmen at least will see the field. Although it will be a lot of familiar faces and names in 2025 for this team. If you look at corner, Alani Allen, we recruited as a receiver. I think he's best as a corner. 90 speed with 74 man, 73 zone. He can't press, So he's really just a slot corner. Eventual safety, potentially, with that press wouldn't be the worst idea. But I like who we have at safety for right now. So he's just not really going to be moving back. And we'll advance to the next week. Training results here. Show me some good things. Okay. We have seen some good things, that's for sure. So Neil McKee is up to a 70. He was a 67. Nothing really else to report at quarterback. James Abel's up to a 71. I would have loved to see where Rayshawn Battles is, but not really an option for us, unfortunately. At receiver, Kai Kiernan goes up to a 77. Alex Higdon, who did not play, is up to a 73. Jeremy Davis, 71. Venzel Boyette occasionally got to the field, 70 overall. Jason Becker really did not develop at all. And then at tight end, Matt Sims all the way up to a 63, but the big one is Zach Edmond, up to a 78. Huge upgrade for him. So maybe Matt Sims takes more of a back seat this time around? I don't know. Because Edmond was a 70 and is now rated significantly higher with 86 run block. Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. Joaquin Oliveira is up to a 77. The development of this offensive line is critical. As Isaiah Crowder, the redshirt freshman, jumps up to a 77. Massive for our O-line that we're not starting a 70 overall. Carl Surrency jumps up to a 78. That's good. Jose Mazza up to a 76. And yeah, we're going to be able to redshirt probably all of our freshman offensive linemen. Aiden Kramer can start at right tackle. Frederick Cummins up to a 74. We're going to redshirt a lot of freshmen. This team did develop in a somewhat nice way as Matt Humphreys goes up to a 74. Interestingly enough, you can't see your transfers. I guess they don't get an offseason program. But we now look a lot better at defensive tackle. Deion Griggs was the second highest rated behind the transfer. Now it's Esteban Chavez and Malachi Samuels. At outside linebacker, Zeke Hopper up to a 77 is a significant boost. Really is. Corey Cushing up to a 75. Soma Latu up to a 73, I guess. He was wearing the red shirt, I believe. No, he wasn't. He just didn't play. Reggie Murray had it on. Morgan Merriman up to a 72. He never played. It now might be forced to. 84 speed power rusher with 85 hit power. Only 67 power moves, unfortunately. So he's really still more of an in-space type of player, even if he just can't cover. At corner, this is the big one. Not a lot of speed here from Emmanuel Berlin, but up to an 82. 97 change of direction. Our change of direction's crazy. But 93 man coverage. 94 zone coverage on Emmanuel Berlin. He's not very fast, and he's small, but he can really, really cover. Lamont James, significantly better in zone. Malik Moon gets an upgrade. Darrell Brower is actually buried on the depth chart after 4 picks. And at 83 speed, he might just never see the field again. Real possibility, maybe even a probability. Jerez Hoke does not really get much of an upgrade, unfortunately. He's still quite bad. Something's got to change the safety. And then out of nowhere, the redshirt freshman Michael Roderick, 88 speed. He's up to a 77 with 92 zone coverage. How does that even happen? 95 catching. He's got normal dev trait, and we don't have uniforms here. Is that usual? Doesn't feel like it. How does he have 92 zone? Feels out of control. I don't know. That's crazy. I really don't have anything to upgrade for our coach right now. It really wants me to. I really can't. There's nothing I can really do right now that I'm super gung-ho about that I can't do in week 1. So we're going to save that for now. Not going to change anything with the conferences, but we should encourage some transfers. We're way over our roster size, which is good. That means we're losing a lot of trash. And, I mean, is Ben Lay ever going to play? Nay. Can't see us ever needing Jeremiah Ankra, so he's gone. At running back, deal breakers playing time. Goodbye. 85 speed, white receiver, I'm out. Or any color, I should say. At 85 speed, I'm out. But he is white, so it's a detail. Why leave it out? We don't need a 46 overall tight end. Goodbye. And we probably don't need John Wanham either, so we'll encourage him to transfer. I think carrying 3 centers is more than enough. Or maybe exactly enough. A lot of these corners are going to have to go, yeah. Randall Glenn at 54 overall needs to be gone. Britton Traore, just really can't see us needing. We'll recruit other guys to play over him, almost certainly. What are your coverage abilities? It'd be nice if it showed me earlier. 83 zone, though. Bernard Yelk can go. We can lose J.D. Hillenmeyer, but we still have a lot of guys that we need to get out of here. Another running back. I don't know where these guys were the first time around, but yeah, we get to get rid of a lot of these receivers. I think that's probably fine. Purely on the basis that I think James Couch-Smith can develop more. We're going to tell the junior Sean Griffin to transfer. Can't really see him playing very much either. And then, I don't know. I like Deion Griggs. He's our strongest defensive tackle. He's so slow. But Alan Smith is probably the one who we're going to tell to hit the road. Don't really need Ben Owens. We're getting more depth at linebacker. Jaquez Blanks is just someone we'll have to replace at the end of the year anyway. And he's just not especially good. Does have good hit power. But, again, I can't really see what his role would be. And I'd rather keep a redshirt freshman rather than a senior that's going to be gone. And we need one more transfer. It'll be Venzel Boyette. I just don't think we need that many receivers. So Charlie Sun has reached his top 8, and we are not in it. Okay. So are they just in the next recruiting class then? No. I have no idea. We're up to 450 hours this time around, but this will be something we do at the start of the next episode. Thank you so much for watching the off-season. It's 4:35 in the morning here, but I'm addicted, so this is what we've been doing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're excited for Season 2. We're starting to turn this team around, and we've got some players that I think can really help us do that in this next season. We've got some big-time transfers. We've got a much better overall team. We're up to an 80 right now. And we will, no doubt, see the debut of Henry Streeter. I wish our uniform showed up in the game here. Unfortunately, they don't. But he could be a special type of talent. I'd love to end up unlocking the ability where you can increase these skill caps. I think we're a long way away from those, unfortunately. But it's easy to see our players of the future here. And this team's going to look a lot different in 2025. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.